In this video, we will cover the quick setup guide for the Wakatime Readme stats repository. We will go over the basic URL formatting, and then at the end, we will cover a more complex example using customized SVG parameters. First, you will need to create a Wakatime account by signing up with GitHub or choosing your own email and password. After you've logged in, you will need to change a few settings. Click on your profile, then on Settings, then on Edit Profile. Here you will need to set your username and your GitHub profile. Once you've configured that, you will need to change your profile to public. For this, you will need to enable this setting, and then these all the way up to the end to set your profile entirely to public. Then click Save Changes. Next, you will have to generate an API key. First, click on your profile and on Settings. Then on Account, you will find your API key here. If not, you can regenerate the key. Then you will copy this. Next, you will need to install the Wakatime extension in your IDE. If you're using a different IDE than VS Code, please follow the setup guide. I will be demonstrating the VS Code setup. So go to your VS Code, then go to Extensions, type in Wakatime, and install. Now this should prompt you for your API key, and then you should enter it and press Enter. If this does not prompt you, then you can go under Features, Commands, and you will type this in. You do Control-Shift-P, then Wakatime.API key. Press Enter, and then here you will paste your key, press Enter again. At this point, it is a good idea to restart your IDE. Next, you will want to navigate to the repository you will be using to display your stats. So on Settings, you want to first make sure that this is set to public. Once you've done this, navigate to Secrets and Variables and Actions, then New Repository Secret. We will name the Wakatime API key as Wakatime_API_key in all capitals, and then you will copy and paste your API key here and press Add Secret. Next, we will create the workflow file. So navigate back to the Code tab, then click on Create a New File. You will copy and paste the contents from the guide, that is Copy Paste Ready Example, into that file. Then you will set the file location as .github/workflows/wakatime-stats.yml. Now, in this file, you will want to make sure that the Secrets API key is being set and used correctly. And if your GitHub username is different from your Wakatime username, then you will want to change this to your username. In my case, it's the same, but you would change it like so. And then you will click on Commit Changes. Next, you will create a README or navigate to your editable README. In my case, I will create one. Then you can insert the file like such, or you can customize this further if you want to, so like changing the height to 320. Then you will commit those changes. Now at this point, you're not going to see anything as the workflow is set to run every 6 hours. But you can trigger it to run immediately by going to Actions, then navigate to Update Wakatime Stats SVG, Run Workflow, and click on Run Workflow again. Now this will request the run. Once the workflow is done running, you will be able to see the logs here, and a green checkmark will show up if it ran successfully. Then you can view it by clicking on Code, and it should display here in your README. Unranked indicates that you have not reached the minimum requirement to be featured on the leaderboard. If you want to display a more customized SVG, you can again go to Workflows, then click on the file and on Edit, and then you can further add parameters at the end of this URL. So after this part, you will insert your parameters, and you can pick those parameters by going to the README file on the repo, and you will see a full list of customization starting here. So we have different themes, which you can see the names displayed here, but you can also click on edit and it will show you the URL to use for each. Same thing for the components. We have heat maps, basic cards, all of these, and same thing for the chart types, along with a full list of customization here. Now we will use the example, so we will copy this. Well, we will copy only this part since the rest we already have up to the API key here. And we will insert this after the API key. Now it's important to remove the spaces, otherwise the link will not work. And now we just want to check that it's fully functional. We have included everything. And for your prefix, you can insert whatever you want. In my case, I will put my name. And this is an apostrophe S, so that says Laura's, and then the ending is Wakatime Stats. Then you will click on Commit Changes. And then once again, you can go to Actions, then on Update Wakatime Stats SVG, Run Workflow, and click Run Workflow. Once it is done running, we will navigate to Code, and you should see the updated one, but in this case, it seems that the old cache file is still there. So we will navigate back to Actions, then Caches. And if there's any caches, you will clear these. There's also the option of going to your workflow file and then clicking on that workflow and appending $v=1. In our case, it seems we simply need to refresh. And now you will see the updated card with the average production every week and the most productive day listed here. And again, the heat map, a bunch of color customization, and other things. Thank you for your time and happy customizing.